if we don't have a quorum.
Not usually.
No.
And all these people are going to make the presentations
We have a couple of grant programs.
with the
that will
consolidated
help
plan.
that we have to write down. Because,
And I forgot until last night, so I had to write myself a note so when I got up in the morning I wouldn't forget.
Okay. Oh, we have a
Oh, we
quorum?
got,
Okay.
okay.
Good morning, everybody. Today's meeting of the Neighborhood and Affordable Housing Advisory Board is called to order on April 8th, 2025. Welcome, everyone. Today's meeting will be one of the most interesting and probably the longest of the year. We have 21 organizations that will deliver presentations for a total of 25 funding applications. Total funding requested for these projects and services is just over $1.56 million. Available funding is far less than that, so this will be a highly competitive process. These presentations are a way for each applicant to explain why their request deserves to be funded. We'll have a presentation on the city's new 3-year local housing assistance plan and a report on the current year subrecipient performance. We have a lot to cover today. Agendas of today's meeting are on the wall at the entrance to the chamber. Please remember to turn off your cell phones. To ensure a complete record of the board's actions, we ask that each individual wishing to speak clearly state your name and spell your last name for the clerk. I will ask the board members to introduce themselves and identify the fields they each represent. I'm going to start to my left.
Good morning, Sharisa Doty with Clearwater Housing Authority for affordable housing.
Hi, Chrissy Bond. I am the homeless advocate, and I'm with St. Vincent de Paul.
Linda Byers, a City of Clearwater resident.
And I'm Robin Fiel, your board chair, and I am a residential mortgage lender in affordable housing. Item 2.1 is the approval of minutes. Our first order of business is to approve the minutes of the board's January 28, 2025 meeting. May I have a motion to approve the item?
Move approval?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Citizens to be heard regarding items not on the agenda. Is there anyone here to speak on items not on today's agenda? If so, please step to the podium and state your name and spell your last name for the record. You have 3 minutes to speak on a subject that is not on today's agenda. Excuse me. Seeing no one come forward, Ms. Call, do we have any, Ms. Dubois, do we have any e-comments? We will move to the next item. Item 4.1 is the performance of subrecipients of the City of Clearwater's community development programs. The Community Development Coordinator, Danya Perez, will present this item.
Good morning, everyone. Danya Perez, P-E-R-E-Z, and
Jessica Chuka, C-H-U-E-K-A.
so we're going to start off with the public, CDBG Public Services. And currently, this is where we are at with our fiscal year 2024-25. So we have Metropolitan Ministries. So they were awarded 4724, and the remaining is 32. And just so you know that while I start, all these projects we're still doing draws, we're still working with everybody. So all this is still in progress. West Care Gulf Coast, Florida, Turning Point for salary support. They were awarded 47024, and they currently have some pending draws that we're working on. Same, and then we have, unfortunately, St. Vincent de Paul, South Pinellas had to sadly decline their award, but I put it up there because we all, they were awarded. Then we have Hispanic Business Initiative Fund. So they provide technical assistance for Prospera for micro enterprise, and they were awarded 30, and this is for our economic development. And their remaining right now is around 21,000. We Care is also economic development, and they also provide technical assistance for child care providers, and they were awarded 50, and they currently were in the middle of working on a couple of draws for them as well. Now we go on to CDBG-CV Public Services, which was the coronavirus. So a little bit of funding left over for that. And directions for living, so for emergency non-congregate shelter for homeless families, they were awarded $89,000. As you can see, they finished the grant, so they're good to go. Then we have Society St. Vincent de Paul Council for Upper Pinellas, also non-congregate shelter, and they were awarded $50,000, and we're almost done with that grant. They only have about $5,000 left, and I'm sure they will spend it really soon. Then we have our SHIP Housing, Counseling, and Education. So we have Tampa Bay Community Development, Homeownership Education and Counseling. They were awarded about $15,000, and they still have some remaining, but they are working towards that. And then also Clearwater Neighborhood Housing Services, same thing, Homeownership Education and Counseling. They awarded $25,000, and they have around $19,000 remaining, and they're also in the process of spending that down. So we also have for home, we have TBRA, tenant-based rental assistance, and that's with the Clearwater Housing Authority. And this is actually a 2-year agreement, so don't be like, oh, they have so much more time. So they have time to spend it. So theirs is $321,400, and the remaining it's a little less than that because we received a couple draws from the time that we did this slide. For our CDBG public facilities for 24-25, sorry guys. So we have our homeless emergency project, family transition program. They were awarded around $140,005, and they're still, for these projects where everyone received the notice to proceed, and we did the sealed bids. Now we're at the process of what is it called? Decks on boots? What, boots on deck? What is it? The saying? That saying. That's where we're at. So, happened. Okay. So the same with homelessness emergency project. Jess, you want to take it away? Sure. Then we have Learning Independence for Tomorrow, LIFT. They're doing a playground for the children, and they're also getting started. We have Willa Carson Health and Wellness Center, their clinic rehabilitation center, and they're also working on it as well. And then we had a couple rollovers from the previous year that have been completed, and I added them just because I know you guys wanted status, and that was part of it. So we have St. Vincent de Paul, the community kitchen. I want to say that's pretty much, we just got the last draw, so this is old news. So we just got the last draw, and that's pretty much going to be closed up. Same thing in the ARC. The ARC finished their training site, and that project's been completed. Our club child, that took us a little bit, but they're good to go. The project's done. And that was it. Any questions? All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So item 4.2, presentations by applicants for grant funding. Mr. Mayu, would you please explain to the board where today's presentations fit into the city's grant application cycle and when we can expect these programs to begin helping Clearwater citizens?
Yes, absolutely. Good morning. My name is Dylan Mayu. I'm the acting housing manager for economic development and housing. Today's a really great day on our calendar. We get to hear from several organizations whose mission it is to help our residents in need. We're grateful to have these people working in our community. And as the board chair said earlier, we had 21 nonprofit organizations submit 25 funding requests. You will hear from all of those today, except for one. HEP has removed their application. They're going to go on the residential development side of the house for their project. As mentioned, the funding requests do add up to $1.56 million, and our CDBG allocation is expected to be around $900,000. So clearly this will be a competitive grant cycle. The Technical Review Committee is the group responsible for scoring these applications. They met 2 weeks ago and reviewed applications. NAHAB board members, this is your meeting, so do feel free to ask questions to presenters. Following today's meeting, the TRC will meet next Monday to discuss the applications and submit their final scoring. Staff will use the scores to create a recommendation for funding allocations. We will ask the board to review, make adjustments if you see fit, and approve allocations at your next meeting, and that'll be on May 13th. A few housekeeping items. Most organizations submitted one application. They will have 3 minutes to present. A few submitted 2 applications. They will have 5 minutes to present. We will not allow PowerPoint or remote presentations this morning because of logistical difficulties with so many presenters. And we do have an overhead projector here that can be used during presentations. Madam Chair, unless the board has any questions for me, I'll turn it over to you. Call the first presenter.
Thank you. We don't have the names of the people who will be presenting, but we do have the names of your organization, so I will call you up by your organization. Metropolitan Ministries for the Neighborhood Hope Program. You will have 3 minutes to speak.
Good morning, board members, my nonprofit colleagues and guests.
Please remember, I'm sorry,
Hey.
please remember to state your name and spell your last name for the clerk.
You got it. My name is Esther Matthew, Mathew, with Metropolitan Ministries, and I'm here to present our request to support the Neighborhood Project, which aims to enhance our community's access to housing and employment services. Currently, the Pinellas Neighbor Hope team receives approximately 20 calls daily from residents seeking assistance with shelter, housing, financial aid, and workforce services. Without adequate support, many of these individuals face unstable housing and low-wage jobs due to various barriers such as low education, limited work experience, lack of childcare and transportation, health issues, poor credit, and past evictions. Neighbor Hope has been serving the North Greenwood community since 2022 after initially starting in Tampa in 2020. So we're in our 5th year. We have successfully managed 3 CDBG grants with the city of Clearwater. In 2024, we were able to provide community navigation services to 110 unduplicated residents and case management services to 57 unduplicated residents. We are seeking to fund the case manager in the upcoming year, as well as add a half-time employment vocational case manager. By adding the half-time employment and vocational case manager, we'll be able to provide essential adult education and job placement services. This will empower our clients to achieve economic self-sufficiency. The expansion will address the barriers residents face in accessing employment services and leverage their strengths to break the cycle of poverty. Services will be provided at our 2 partner locations in families' homes or other convenient places. We do like to tailor the service to the client's needs. The employment vocational case manager would carry a caseload of 9 to 10 clients, offering weekly or bi-weekly services for 3 to 6 months based on the individual needs and goals. We also partner with the Homeless Empowerment Program to provide additional workforce development services. So with all of that, with your support, Neighbor Hope can continue our work here in the North Greenwood community to make a hopefully transformative impact, helping residents achieve both stable housing and gainful employment. We do believe that they go hand in hand. Any questions?
So do you feel confident you can find a part-time person to fill that position?
We actually already have this person ready to work.
That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Clearwater Neighborhood Housing Services, Tampa Bay Neighborhood Housing Services, you will have 5 minutes to speak.
Good morning. My name is Todd LeClaire, Leclair.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So good morning, board members, other nonprofits. Thank you for giving us the opportunity. My name again is Todd, and I proudly represent Tampa Bay Neighborhood Housing Services. We're a HUD-approved nonprofit with over 40 years of experience within the city of Clearwater, doing housing education, financial empowerment, and real estate development. Our mission is simple but powerful: to build strong communities and guiding families towards safe, stable, and affordable home ownership. In Clearwater, that mission has real results. Through our homebuyer education and our one-on-one counseling, we have helped hundreds of families, many right here in Clearwater, navigate the complex journey of becoming first-time homebuyers. These are working families, veterans, and single parents, people with the drive to own, but needing guidance and access to our resources. And that's where we come in. As a significant part of our work in Clearwater has focused on uplifting African American communities, particularly those who have been historically underserved in the housing markets. We've helped generations with these neighborhoods break cycles of renting, build generational wealth, and stay rooted in the communities that they serve and that they love. We also provide post-purchase counseling, education, and foreclosure prevention counseling, because homeownership isn't just about getting the keys, it's about maintaining their homes. Beyond education, we're building with partners like Habitat for Humanity and the City of Clearwater. We're contributing developments like Lake Bellevue. We're building 24 brand new townhomes on city donated land. Projects like this are tangible proof of what is possible when we align purpose with partnership. Everything we do reflects Clearwater's goals for equity, neighborhood revitalization, and sustainable home ownership. With your continued support, we can expand our impact, increase access to resources, and help even more Clearwater families, especially in communities that have been left out for far too long, achieve the dream of owning a home. We're proud of what we've built with your partnership, as today we ask for continued investment, not just in our programs, but in the people and neighborhoods of the city of Clearwater. At this time, I'll turn over to Jessica, who will speak more on down payment assistance programs and how it transforms access to homeownership. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jessica Thompson, and it's THOMPSON, with Tampa Bay Neighborhood Housing Services. So once our clients move from the home education to counseling, once they're done with that process, they've completed it, they're mortgage ready, they're under contract on a home, we will start the application process for down payment assistance to the city of Clearwater. During that process, it's my job to verify that not only the client but the lender fall within the guidelines of the city's program. Just this last Friday, we closed on the 2 mineral properties, which the city of Clearwater also helped us in partnership on these 2 properties to build. And we just sold those 2 properties last Friday with the closing, the mother and daughter duo. Yay. They were super happy. They could not wait to have the keys in their hands, take a picture with me and my coworker. They were just ecstatic, and it's amazing to see a mother and daughter be able to buy homes right next door to each other and have that community of family right next door. During the last year, we've helped 16 families close on homes in the city of Clearwater using their down payment assistance program. Since reopening the program this year, we've already closed on 3 homes using the down payment assistance funding. I have 6 more applications in process, with 4 of them closing this month. So that will be another 4 families that have now had their dream of home ownership. Without these programs like this, families in this community would not be able to complete the dream of home ownership. And that's what we're asking for your help to continue our process in doing so. Thank you.
Any questions?
Any questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
Is your class face-to-face or is it online?
So we do both. We have a face-to-face class and we have a virtual class. Both classes are 8 hours long. We provide lunch for our clients in the in-person. We've also extended into the Tampa area as well, so we're able to find people that are looking to move into this area as well, so.
And are they also required to go through the counseling process before they're funded for the DBA?
Yes,
Absolutely.
Every single one of our clients that go through home buyer education's next step is to do the counseling. I am a certified housing counselor with the agency, so they'll come to me or they'll come to one of our other counselors. They'll do their home buyer education or their counseling with us, and we do continuous counseling until they're home ready. So if we deem them not home ready, we'll continue doing counseling for every 30 to 60 days until they are home ready, or they pretty much give up.
Do you provide counseling after home readiness when they?
Absolutely. So
Okay.
we do post-purchase counseling and foreclosure counseling if they need help or assistance. The post-purchase counseling is very important because we like to discuss what it means to be a homeowner. We also talk about safety, evacuation, paying off your mortgage early. So there's quite a bit of topics.
And maintenance, of course.
Yes, of course, maintenance.
So is the 8-hour class during the week, or is it on a Saturday or Sunday?
Always on Saturdays.
Always on
Saturday.
Saturdays. We also partner with eHome America if we have clients that are unable to do the Saturdays classes, that they can do it at their own pace.
And it is an 8-hour class requirement?
Yes.
Yes.
40 years, that's a long time.
The history of Clearwater Neighborhood Housing Services is amazing.
It is.
We are blessed to be part of this community.
And do you also partner with other communities like Largo, St. Pete, and Pinellas County?
Yes.
Good,
Any other questions?
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Next, we have the Intercultural Advocacy Institute, DBA, the Hispanic Outreach Center. You will have 3 minutes to speak.
Hello, good morning. I'm Amanda Markowitz. It's Markiewiczz. And I'm here representing the Intercultural Advocacy Institute, which is better known in the community as the Hispanic Outreach Center. The Hispanic Outreach Center has been in operation since 2000. And since then, we have been providing essential services to the community through advocacy, support, education, programs and classes, support groups, and community referrals and resources. We aim to meet the needs of the community through building trust and providing essential services through our many programs. In Pinellas County, the Hispanic population is the fastest growing minority population. In 2001, the Hispanic population in Pinellas accounted for less than 5% of the total population, and yet today it is 11% of the population. And it is estimated that by 2030, the Hispanic population will be over 15% of the Pinellas population. These numbers are even higher in Clearwater specifically. The Hispanic Outreach Center provides support services to all community members, but we see about 85% of our families that come into our services that live below the poverty line. We see families that have limited English proficiency, families that are in need of additional support services due to barriers that they may face. In addition to this, we see individuals who are vulnerable to victimization, such as domestic violence, assault, robbery, sexual abuse, and wage theft, just to name a few. The Victim Advocacy and Support Service Program, which is what we've applied for support with these funds, has bridged the gap for culturally competent advocacy and support services for victims of crime within the Hispanic community. We work closely with community partners, with the Clearwater PD, and our network to provide safe, secure, and culturally specific services to help break down barriers for victims of crime. We aim to provide advocacy to those impacted by crime and to give those who are hurting a place to heal. Our victim advocate provides one-on-one sessions, domestic violence support groups, court and law enforcement accompaniment, referrals to mental health and legal services, translation services, and so much more. This program is vital for the community members impacted by crime, whether or not they're reporting or not. And the funding would support our victim advocate position specifically and the program, and allow the center to continue to serve the community in the essential way.
Any questions?
Just one question from staff. On your application, you marked that you couldn't start on October 1st. We weren't sure if that was a mistake or
That
if
was a
there's.
mistake.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Just wanted to confirm.
Yeah, we can start whenever you want us to start. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have the Pinellas Opportunity Council.
Good morning. My name is Alonda Vaughn, be like in Victor, A-U-G-H-A-N, and I'm here representing Pinellas Opportunity Council. Pinellas Opportunity Council is a part of a national community organization that comprises of 1,100 nonprofit organizations. These organizations were put together with Economic Opportunity Act of 1964 to combat poverty nationwide. With this grant, Pinellas Opportunity Council aims to provide unlimited financial assistance annually to Clearwater residents facing emergency crisis. We have an emergency assistance program which services low-income and economically disadvantaged individuals, families with youth, elderlies, residents of the community. Most of these individuals who come to us are homeless or are at risk of becoming homeless. This program provides short-term emergency financial assistance for rent, mortgage, utilities, transportation, food, clothing, enabling individuals to avoid homelessness or transition from homelessness to stability. We receive around 3,200 requests for emergency assistance each month across the county, and the needs are growing. A recent community needs assessment survey conducted by Pinellas Opportunity Council revealed that 48% of respondents reported a lack of emergency assistance for rent, mortgage, utilities, and payments within the Pinellas County area. Many clients seeking assistance are on the brink of eviction, foreclosure. Some have been without utilities for months, needing to reconnect their electricity and water. We currently have funding, but our current funding consists of the City of St. Pete, City of Pinellas Park. It covers seniors, and a very limited amount for the whole county. So we're trying to expand. We have people who call from Clearwater, but we don't have funding for Clearwater, so we use the little bit of funding that we do have, which is less than 2% of our budget, to fund Clearwater. So we'd like to expand to Clearwater and help more residents of Clearwater with our emergency assistance program. And knowing with the economy the way it is right now, the request for emergency assistance has increased with rent and mortgage. And so, any questions?
I have a question regarding your services. Have you noticed the reason why you've got this increase in requests for services? Is it loss of job? Is it inflation? Do you identify what the cause is?
So our needs assessment, so just imagine with the rents going up, utilities going up. Before, we used to be able to cover, emergency assistance and giving somebody $750 to cover rent. Now it's $1,600, it's $1,500. It's so to even try to help one person, you're talking about $1,500. If they're behind 2 months rent, that's $3,000. So we try, because of the increase in rent and mortgage and utilities, inflation. It's just everything is up, and it's just So the little bit of money that we do get, we could help a number of people, but the requests we get, like I said, 3,200 a month. That's 3,200 people calling us each month for services. And it's a big demand out there.
And do you refer these callers to other agencies?
Yes, so we partner with other agencies, and they're strapped just as we are. And so we do tell our clients, well, if you don't get services this month, please try again next month, because we get allotments every month. So, and you get your allotment in a month, the beginning of the month, by the middle of the month, it's almost dwindled down. So we do partner with other agencies as well.
And your office is located on Lakeview Avenue, is it?
Our office is located, the admin office is downtown St. Pete by 501 First Avenue North.
And how long has your organization been established?
57 years. And we've been doing emergency assistance for 57 years.
Thank you for that very much.
Any other questions?
Thank
You so much.
Thank you. Next, we have the Pearl Transit Corp. Seeing no one come forward, the Arts for Life Academy, Inc.
Good morning, board members, city members, and the nonprofit community. My name is Jay Henson, spelled J-A-I, last name H-I-N-S-O-N, and I am the founder and executive director for Arts for Life Academy. And we are a nonprofit organization in the community that has been providing services for 35. This is our 36th year. And our mission is to help provide resilience to our children by enhancing their education, promoting diversity, developing life skills through performing arts and education. So we have after-school programs, summer camps, community outreach programs and activities. We have performing arts ensembles, most notably the Dundu Dole Urban African Ballet Company. We have community productions that we provide for the community, such as the Chocolate Nutcracker and different iterations, the Family Blessings. So we've been doing a lot of work in the community with the arts and helping to educate our children, provide them access to performing arts activities. We do it on a grassroots level, and the youngsters we serve are between the ages of 5 and 14. And throughout the 35 years of providing these services, we have been able to see the benefits of it. We have many children that are now performing professionally on Broadway, in films, in community activities and productions and plays. We have youngsters that are members of Alvin Ailey, Dance Theater Harlem, Complexions, Cleo Parker Robinson. They've graduated from prestigious universities. They have been on Broadway in The Temptations and Lion King and Death Becomes Her. That's the most recent one. So we have a lot of children that are out there doing amazing things. And so we provide them with a community place where they can come and they can feel safe, and we help to expose them and to a lot of genres and help them to be inspired to do many different things. So in addition to our performing arts and our dance accomplishments, we also have performing arts ensembles. So we would like to enhance one of our music performing arts ensembles to include a children's band that's going to have the opportunity to reach out into the community and provide performances, and education to other community children and inspire them. In conversations with the Pinellas County School Board supervisors, one of the things they talked about is the lack of presence of African American and minority children in some of the choruses and orchestras, and they would love to see an increased element. Any questions?
I might say I'm happy that you're working with the school board in Pinellas County to address these issues with those principals and so forth. It's very great that you're doing that. Thank you.
Thank you. They're a great partner.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The Pinellas Diaspora Arts Project, DBA Community Tech Experiences Project.
Hi, good morning. My name is J.A. Morton, M-O-R-T-O-N, and I'm repping Pinellas Diaspora Arts Project, known as PDAP. Our mission is to support the well-being of underrepresented communities in Tampa Bay by activating participation in arts, technology, media, and civic education. I just have to give a shout out to one of our mothers, Jay Hinson. We are kind of a child of Arts for Life, and we have done programming there. Actually, we got a grant through the City of Clearwater and the Clearwater Urban Leadership Coalition to do an arts residency there last year for almost a whole year, and it was really great. We did a lot of projects and media stuff. And I also need to give a shout out to the Clearwater Housing, neighborhood housing, because I did my 8-hour course there so I could get my house. Okay, so we are we're asking for money to do a community tech experiences project. That's our DBA. We do tech and we do media also. So we're going to offer 12 monthly free community education workshops in job prep and soft skills for ages 18 plus, an intro to marine industry careers, graphic design with Canva for social media marketing, a media and journalism boot camp, and technology for designing shirts, cups, and caps. We can do this because we're like all volunteer, but we work with a lot of contractors. Our project was also kind of an economic project to employ a lot of the working artists and educators in the community by bringing them into the community and getting money to pay them for this stuff. So our successful education and tech projects include our out-of-school education project, which is Royal, which is how we got the money from Clearwater Urban Leadership Coalition and the city to do our project at Arts for Life. We also recently did a mural at the Willa Carson Center, which the city gave us money to do that. We've only been around since 2021, but we've impacted over 3,000 people because we also do the St. Pete, there's a large chalk festival coming up May 3rd, so we do that chalk festival. And then we also do community tech days, and we've done one in St. Pete. We've done 2 in St. Pete and 1 here in Clearwater, and we're planning to do some more. So that's our program. We are a nonprofit. I know we goofed on that somehow. I don't know how. And I also saw that in my rushing, I actually forgot to put my outcomes. So I have my outcomes here, sorry. But yeah, I guess that's it. Any questions?
Any questions?
So what are you asking for with the funds? What do you?
Okay, so we're going to do a 12 monthly free community workshops. So this is community workshops which will be held at Arts for Life at the Pinellas County African American History Museum, and I'm also trying to reach out to Ms. Krista at the North Greenwood to see if we library to see if we can do some there. So we're a mobile project. We don't really have a home, so we just go around the Pinellas County doing our projects.
When I hear the word art, and we've got art in the theater, arts in music, other art projects, but when I think of art, I think about painting and drawing, and they have a gallery here within the library, and there's a lot of talent in that regard, but I don't hear anything about that particular art. Do you do any, I know you mentioned like, excuse me, designing cups and T-shirts and so forth, but I'd like to see art, paintings on the wall and stuff, and maybe in conjunction with the gallery here at the city. Maybe you could join or have a partnership with them.
We would love that. That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we use arts kind of also in the dictionary meaning of arts, which is to practice at a high level of skill, right? So for us, arts can be carpentry. Arts can be gardening. Like, we're trying to encourage people to think of practicing the things that are good for their health as an art. But we do art. We do the Chalk Art Festival, which is coming up. We did art projects at Arts for Life. We did the mural at the Willa Carson Center. So we definitely have artists. You know, we kind of are trying to use art, though, in a...
Well, it's very broad.
Yeah,
you know,
to help.
It's not specific.
We're kind of like a multi-sector, I guess.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Hope Villages of America, you will have 5 minutes to speak.
My name is Belinda Maccabee, M-C-A-B as in boy, E-E. Good morning, my name is Belinda Becton Maccabee, and I serve as Vice President of Grants and Contracts at Hope Villages of America. HVA, as we shorten it, was founded in 1967 right here in Clearwater. And it's built on the mission that we provide hope and restoration with dignity among our community's most vulnerable. We operate 3 interconnected divisions. It's our food and basic needs that's located on the corner of Druid and Myrtle, our abuse services program, as well as housing stability. So I stand before you today to respectfully request your support for 2 of our applications totaling $139,600. The first request is for $80,000 in our public facilities improvement to our food distribution center. The center is a lifeline to many as we serve 6,300 individuals a month facing food security across Clearwater. So we're seeking funding for some upgrades. One is for a new reliable sliding entrance door to replace the current one. It tends to stick and we just want to make sure everyone's safe. So we are requesting that to be replaced. And a dedicated charging station with an enclosure for our pallet jacks and our 2 new forklifts that we were able to purchase with community support. So that enclosure is critical for preventing any type of downtimes to wait for each forklift to charge, and it preserves our equipment because, like I said, we just got that. And of course, it ensures consistent food operations. We're also requesting truck power outlets for refrigeration. So of course, it's practical and environmentally responsible of us to do that because it would allow us to keep food cold without idling the truck engines all the time. And it also, of course, saves on fuel costs and emissions. So these enhancements will make our distribution process safer, more efficient, and more sustainable. And it will also allow us to meet the needs of the community consistently without disruption. The second application is for our senior wellness pantry. And this new initiative addresses an urgent but often overlooked need, and that's senior food insecurity. As I mentioned before, we serve approximately 6,300 people per month. A significant portion of them are seniors. We're talking about 1,300, and a lot of them are on Medicare recipients. There are some studies out there. One happens to be Johns Hopkins as well as Feeding Tampa Bay, where many of these senior citizens are lacking consistent access to nutritious foods, and they also do not have the dietary education. Many seniors simply just don't know how to manage those chronic diseases like diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease through proper nutrition. And if they're struggling with food insecurity, you know, they're not really eating correctly. So this senior wellness pantry is a program is designed to combat senior food insecurity in Clearwater. So we would give them consistent access to nutritious food and empower seniors through targeted dieting, education, and sustained health support. So I'll just share a brief example. We had a participant, 78 years old, living on a fixed income, of course, battling those chronic diseases, diabetes, high blood pressure. When we piloted the program, we were able to help her get secured nutritious food, as well as work with her throughout the weeks that she was on this program, just how to prepare simple and affordable meals according to her dietary needs. So it's just not about food, it's about empowerment, independence, and doing it all with dignity. So like I said, it would be initial assessment with a part-time dietitian. That person would be supported with 2 volunteers that would help with the 6-month follow-through, just to make sure that these seniors are on track to cook those nutritious foods as well. What we're requesting is the salary support to go towards staffing, transportation, food sourcing. So our staff would also have to source the different special needs foods that these seniors would require to stay on that dietary, that value. So, any questions?
Is it 6 months for the participant, did you say, or is it ongoing after 6 months?
Well, we would initially start it. We would follow up with them for 6 months.
Okay.
And if they need help, of course, they can always come back to us for that.
So is there any delivery of food, or do they have to come to the facility to pick up the food?
They would come to the facility, and we would do an intake process, and from there we would.
And how often can they do that? How often would they get food? Once a month?
They can come in once a month. However, if they needed to meet with the dietitian, then however often is needed. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
The ARC Tampa Bay.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you very much.
Good morning. While she's doing that, I'm Brian Siracusa with an I, and then SIRACUSA, and I'm here maybe to answer questions.
And good morning. My name is Carolyn Reginelli, REGINELLI, and I am proud to be here from the ARC Tampa Bay. Our organization, our mission is to support and empower people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We've been doing that since 1958. And we're proud to be a tenant at the Long Center in Clearwater. We're very fortunate to have that particular facility. It serves not only administratively for our organization, but it also houses several of our largest programs. The Long Center has been there since 1991. The infrastructure of that particular facility is old. Our phone system, we purchased it over 20 years ago, and it was used at the time. So our current request is for infrastructure needs, not only for phones, but for our internet. The facility itself is concrete barrier and difficult to get Wi-Fi, difficult for our current IT staff to even address the needs that we have there. Our organization brings in a revenue of close to $16 million annually. And it's very important that we maintain documentation on a daily basis, because 80% of our revenue comes from how we bill. So it's important that our staff has accurate internet services. And not only is the internet important, but the phone system. We daily get calls from parents, guardians. They might not even be served at our organization, but they might have needs and they don't know where to go. And sometimes we're the face that helps them know where to go to get services and how to get services. So we're hopeful to get this project off the ground. And we've tried to do this in a thoughtful manner. We right now are in the process of developing a scope of work with East West. East West is a company that we used for our generator out at the Long Center. They developed the scope of work. And the important thing with the scope of work is that we need the plans so that when we're ready to bid out the project, everyone is bidding on exactly the same thing, that there's no questions, that there's no gray areas. So we're being thoughtful with the process, with our scope of work development, with assessing our current needs, and with working with the City of Clearwater in this particular facility, because our space there is about 45,000 to 50,000 square feet. So this is a big project, and we realize that we have to be thoughtful in getting it done. And it's important for the individuals that we serve there daily, probably 200 to 250. Any questions?
Can you explain to me exactly what services you provide to the community?
Our agency is, we have a focus on individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We have 16 group homes within the Pinellas County area. 3 of those are in Clearwater. We also have an apartment complex in Clearwater, and we have 3 day programs that operate in Clearwater, Safety Harbor, and Tarpon Springs. In addition to providing residential and day program services, we also have a clinic for children with autism that operates at the Long Center, and we also have a vocational rehabilitation program that operates in the community, but we're very proud to be breaking ground, hopefully in July, for a culinary institute at the Long Center. So the Long Center is very important to us. It's kind of the hub of how we operate.
And approximately how many families do you serve?
We serve individuals.
Individuals.
On probably about 250, but we also have services that are time limited, like a career camp for youth with disabilities. So our numbers may change, particularly in our vocational rehabilitation programs, because some of those will come in and come out. But for the most part, most of our individuals, we serve lifelong.
Do you work in conjunction with Pinellas County School Board?
Yes, we have several retired school board members on our board of directors.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have directions for mental health, DBA directions for life. For living, I'm sorry.
Good morning. My name is Finn Kavanaugh. That's K-A-V-A-N-A-G-H. And I am a grant writer and donor relations manager for Directions for Living. We are a nonprofit organization that provides behavioral health care services and homelessness prevention services here in the city of Clearwater as well as Pinellas County. I want to thank you for the opportunity to present today to the Neighborhood and Affordable Housing Board and for the opportunity to present our projects. We've shared some handouts that summarize the projects for your convenience. Our first one is really about safety. We're proposing to replace 90 interior doors at our facility to 20-minute fire-rated doors. The doors that are there now, many of them are original to the building, which is like 30 years old. So this is really about promoting fire safety in the building. Part of that is also we want to replace the 2 front doors, which are glass sliders that are accessible. Right now, those are not particularly conducive to hurricane safety, so we want to replace those on the front door. Our second project is improvements to 2 stairwells. And like our previous project, part of this is 6 stairwell doors that are 90-minute fire rated to protect the evacuation routes of the building. We also have a part of that project that's about some permanent wall art that we want to affix in those stairwells. Right now, they're a very bland vanilla space, and we've been able to put up wall art in a variety of our facilities, and it just helps the whole therapeutic aesthetic of the building and make people feel a little more comfortable. The total cost of the project we've recommended is $186,340, and the number of people that this will benefit is approximately 22,000 people. 2,000 of those will be, an estimated 2,000 will be residents of the city of Clearwater. I do want to say this project was previously requested, at least the doors project, with Pinellas County, and we were not funded. Part of the reason we're bringing this project to you before now is it's really about safety, and we're going to keep on trying to plug away to get this funding. We're hoping the city of Clearwater will see fit to support this project. I want to thank you for the time of presenting to the board. I can answer any questions if you might have any.
So many of these offices are used for counseling, is that right? Because I know in the application you talked about privacy, so it makes it a little quieter.
Yeah.
How many stories is the building?
It's 3 stories.
Right.
And it's located here in Clearwater.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have the Safety Harbor Neighborhood Family Center, DBA Maddie Williams Neighborhood Family Center.
I also hand out a piece of paper.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's a little easier.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if this works to show it up there. A little bit, so everybody can see the picture of what we're trying to. Good morning, I'm David Hale, H-A-L-E. I'm the Executive Director of the Maddie Williams Neighborhood Family Center, and we are serving the 2 easternmost zip codes in Clearwater, as well as Safety Harbor and Oldsmar. We're part of the Neighborhood Family Center network of the Juvenile Welfare Board of Pinellas County. So I'm here today to ask you for something a little different, which is about $69,000 to purchase and install a backup generator. So if folks have been driving down MLK off McMullen Booth, they'll see we've been under construction for a year to double the size of our building. Really, it's in response to what we've been hearing here a lot this morning, which is growing demand for the kind of services we provide. Excuse me. So we are also a food pantry. We do after-school care and summer camp, and we do family support, everything from direct financial assistance to financial coaching, budgeting, and the types of benefits that we've been hearing this morning. As our numbers have gone up, we've seen pretty much equal growth in all the areas we serve. In particular, what concerns us is those food pantry numbers. That's not a number you love to see grow. But we do want to meet the need. So we, over the past 4 years, raised funding, including CDBG funding from the county, to expand that building, double its size, build a state-of-the-art food pantry, add offices to serve additional clients. And right in the middle of that project, we experienced these unprecedented storms the last season. And I know the storms caught us all off guard a bit because they were so severe, but at Maddie Williams, we typically would respond after the emergency with drinking water and food and replacement bedding. In this case, we were getting calls, urgent calls for folks who were displaced, hundreds of families displaced, children sleeping on streets. In particular, the standard apartments on Drew Street is in our area. So when my program director, Samantha Moulet, who's here with me today, and I got onto the scene, we found out really quickly that we were going to have to change our mindset for how we responded to the families who depend on us in these emergencies. So what I'm asking for is a piece that's been unfunded because we didn't know we needed it, but now we believe we do need a backup generator on this facility. For one thing, our new food pantry can hold 5,000 to 7,000 pounds of food, which is fantastic to stock up before an event. But if, food safety, if you lose power, you have to get rid of all of it. So this generator, we actually are on the gas line there. This generator would be tied into that, so we would literally never lose power. It also means our family support team, who are the folks that these families call when they're in those crises to find their shelter, to find replacement bedding and all the things that they need to get back on their feet, it would keep them running through the storm.
I have a question.
Yes.
When you say it's going to be tied into the gas line, so it's not something that you're going to have to worry about gas in 3 to 4 days when that generator runs out?
That's right. That's right. And actually, also in this project, we had already funded and installed solar. So we'll be fully solar, but the generator will be the backup in the event that you need it.
What's the eligibility criteria to use the food pantry?
That's a great question. Actually, we don't do a litmus test for financial need. Really, you just need to be in our service area. We do run that food pantry weekly. And so what we've seen is growing numbers of folks finding us. That's a bit of a food desert over there.
And people can come weekly?
Weekly, as well as senior deliveries every week. We do wellness checks on those seniors as well. We do that, yeah.
How do you stock your food pantry?
That's another great question. So with other funding in the past, we bought a refrigerated van. We go out, our team goes out every single day to pick up from every source we can. We're part of Feeding Tampa Bay. We receive from St. Pete Free Clinic. But honestly, we have relationships with every grocery store that we can drive to, and we pick up every day to make sure that we provide full nutrition. We are not just mac and cheese. We do full dairy, one of the few food pantries that does, because that's a really important source of protein for kids.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I believe next we have the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, Council of Upper Pinellas County.
And as the executive director of the organization, I'll recuse myself from voting on this project.
Good morning. I'm Carol Purcell, P-U-R-C-E-L-L, and I'm the president, actually, of the St. Vincent de Paul Council for Upper Pinellas County, and that includes the St. Vincent de Paul Community Kitchen and also our thrift store on US 19. And then we have 8 conferences that provide rent and utility assistance, along with clothing, furniture, and new beds at no cost to our neighbors in need. And this request is for the St. Vincent de Paul Community Kitchen, which serves about 100 people a day, every day, 365 days a year. And not only do we feed the hungry, but we also provide showers and laundry and mail service and clothing and emergency items to the homeless. We have 3 paid staff, and then we have over 100 volunteers, of which I am one, and that includes nurses and business professionals. We also host community partners who provide medical care and social services to our clients, and we work closely with the City of Clearwater and the Clearwater Police Street Outreach Team. And the city does provide us financial support to provide emergency hotel stays and transportation for our homeless to return home to family and friends through bus tickets, train tickets, plane tickets. Our request today is for repaving our parking lot at the community kitchen. It has a steep entrance and a number of potholes. Many of our homeless clients are on walkers, use canes, are in wheelchairs, and access to our facility is challenging. We also need to replace 2 air conditioners, which cool our dining room and our kitchen. We have 7 air conditioners, and we've replaced 5 within the last 5 years. But we have the remaining 2 in the kitchen and the dining room that are 22 years old and 17 years old. And we are trying to be proactive so that we don't have a crisis on our hands when those break. We are also requesting funding to create a dry storage room in our current receiving area. Our current dry storage is in our resource center, which is next door. to the kitchen, and that requires our staff and volunteers to go outside into an alley between the kitchen and the resource center to get supplies. And we are doing our meal preparation between 5 and 8 a.m. in the morning, and it's dark. So it's a safety issue for us, and we also provide for our homeless neighbors who are living in their cars, food from the dry goods, and it requires 2 people to go into the other building, which is it's pretty much the only thing happening in the other building is our dry storage. So it's a safety issue for us to have to go over there to provide food, and especially in the mornings when we're preparing our meal. So that's about it. If there are any questions. Ooh, 3 minutes. Wow. I got the
Perfect. In the last few years, have you seen an increase in the homeless population in Pinellas County?
You know, that's an interesting question. It's a different homeless population. Chrissy could probably help me with a little bit with this, but we've seen an increase in families, moms and children, and people living in their cars. I wouldn't say we've seen like the chronic people that are on the streets that have been there for 20, 30 years. You know, I would say, you know, the mental health, the addicts, that seems kind of stable. It's really the new homeless, you know, that are having trouble with rent and utilities and things like that. Yes, a tremendous increase in demand, especially for assistance with rent and utilities. And we work together, actually, the kitchen works really closely with the conferences in North Pinellas to try and provide for those people. We fund about $75,000 to $100,000 a month in North Pinellas among our conferences for that kind of assistance through donations.
So you're doing a little prevention as well?
Oh, very much our focus.
Right. Yeah, it's concerning when people are living in their cars.
Yes.
With families.
Yes, and we work very closely with the city, with street outreach to do that.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
We have seen an increase with seniors because rent increases and their income doesn't. So we've seen that a lot. And for every person that we return to family and friends, a new one arrives.
Yes.
Because everybody wants to live in Clearwater.
Yes.
And they're not prepared to live in Clearwater.
And they all come, yeah, yes. And we do, I have to say, I mean, I've heard a few of these organizations. I mean, we work closely with all of these organizations. Yeah, we don't have a choice because the demand is so high. Yeah. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Learning Independence for Tomorrow.
Good morning, I'm Matt Spence, S-P-E-N-C-E. I'm the Executive Director of Learning Independence for Tomorrow, better known as LIFT. We're here today to talk about our mission to empower individuals with neurodiversity to learn, thrive, and succeed. And in order to do that, one of the projects that we're placing in front of you for consideration today is a development of a cafe and retail training space on our campus. The space will serve as a fully functioning student-run enterprise, offering training in culinary arts, hospitality, customer service, retail management, inventory systems, and marketing. Students will gain real-world experience in both front-of-house and back-of-house operations, preparing them for employment at both entry-level and supervisory positions. We currently have a request pending in front of state appropriations and have made significant progress toward bringing this vision to life. However, to fully complete the project, especially the key exterior renovations, including opening a wall, installing glass doors, and adding structural steel headers, we respectfully request an additional $105,000 in CDBG funding. The community is behind this project. We have partnerships with local employers, ongoing relationships with funders like Jabil, the Hamburg Foundation, and the Community Foundation in Tampa Bay. We have strong support from our families, local businesses, and civic leaders. This isn't really just about building a cafe and a retail space. It's about creating a pipeline for employment and opportunities for our neurodiverse learners. The economic impact of it is real. Our students will be equipped to fulfill jobs in hospitality, retail, and food service, three of the largest employment sectors in our region. The cafe and retail shop will operate as a revenue-generating business. That revenue will then be reinvested in our organization to continue to train more students. We've been operating micro-businesses for 7 years and have found significant success both on the educational side and with small amounts of revenue for the organization to reinvest. Most importantly, we'll be helping to close the unemployment gap for individuals with disabilities, contributing to a stronger and more inclusive Clearwater. This transformational project aligns perfectly with our mission and the needs of our students and the goals of the CDBG program. Respectfully, we request your support. Any questions?
What are the age of the students?
We have 3 different programs. We have students from kindergarten all the way through. Our most experienced learner is 56 years old.
That was my question as well.
The program really will be heavily focused on our university students ages 18 to 22 and our adult training program 22 and beyond. But we do mix in some high school experiences as well.
And I will ask this question again. Do you work with this Pinellas County School Board?
We do. We work very closely with them. In fact, my first meeting the day before I started as executive director was with Kevin Hendrick and his team. So we've been operating together from day one. They have Title I support services that come on site at LIFT, and we actually have great reference relationships for students who might not perfectly fit our school. We'll send them to Pinellas County, and if Pinellas County feels like there's a student who's appropriate for what we do, they are happy to refer them to us.
Did you already secure the additional funding, did you say?
So we have a variety of funding sources. Our request before the legislature this year is currently in the budget, but as you know, session still has a lot to play out. But we have other revenue sources that would contribute to the project. So the project will be moving forward. The pace is really the question, right? The pace depends on getting the full support.
And you're estimating the total project to be about $1 million?
That's about right. It's about $925,000 from the state, and then we've had other support come in. We're actually finished off a decent part of the back-end kitchen already.
And it's geared towards the hospitality industry?
That's correct. We'll provide industry standard credentialing, ServSafe certification. We'll do a barista training program. We'll have a variety of other credentials. So it's not just a resume, it's a resume that pops to the top of a resume pile because of the industry credentials.
Excellent.
There's a question behind you.
You may not know, but if we were to fund this, would we be the only federal fund source?
I think it largely depends on where the state money comes from.
Okay.
So I can't say that for certain, but likely yes.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Live Play Workshop, DBA Crossroads Music Institute.
Hello, my name is Richard Lyszek, Lyszczek. I'm a director at the Live Play Workshop. Fortunately, I'm not the person that was supposed to be speaking today, so forgive me for that. So we are a nonprofit that's focused on basically music development as well as bringing people together, not only with instruments, but also to play with other people to form bands and, friendships and whatnot. We actually started as a TV show that we produced with a partnership with a company out of St. Pete called CP Communications, where we brought a group of, I guess, 11 to 15-year-olds together into 2 bands to have them basically learn, older songs that they're probably not used to, like such as the Beatles and whatnot, and learn how to interview, learn how to overcome a lot of, learn how to be prepared and whatnot. Those children then asked us to basically build a place for them to come together so that they could do more of that, because that kind of pushed us into becoming a nonprofit, where we opened up a facility on North Fort Harrison that has a variety of different areas within the building for music rehearsal, music lessons, as well as live shows that we put on. So in terms of what we've been doing for the community, we've started a once a month show that features some of these kids that's open to the public. It's the last Friday of the month. The thing that we're here asking money for is to help fund some of the teachers so that they can be on site more often and that we can use that time to help develop some other programs because we are very new. So we don't have a lot of stuff coming out of the gate. We haven't been around. We've been around for about a year and a half. So that's basically it in a nutshell. We're hoping to actually provide another season of the TV show in the next year or so, probably featuring the Clearwater area because we filmed everything originally down in Seminole. So that's basically it.
The Pinellas County school system has from middle school through high school bands.
Mm-hmm.
And as a matter of fact, they just had a district competition at Countryside last week. Have you reached out to the schools? And
We've started reaching out to schools, but again, we don't have necessarily the right contacts, who to go to. So it's been on the list, and I know that I don't know if Rebecca's still here, but she assists with kind of all the outreach. So I mean, honestly, any contact information anyone has would be helpful for us.
okay, well, you'll get it.
All right.
How many participants or young adults are you working with now?
There's about 10 to 15 different kids. A lot of them already know how to play. We're really trying to find more kids that are, interested in learning how to play, that may not have the ability or the access, to the type of instructors that we have. Most of our instructors are all people that play professionally, have toured the world, so they have a lot of different insight that maybe just a college-educated music teacher wouldn't have.
And how did you find these students?
The students, a lot of them have just been driving. Some of the new ones have been driving. People driving by and seeing us on Fort Harrison. Some of them are people that the teachers have already had as students, as well as word of mouth. I know that we're trying to get into some of the homeschooling kids as well, because I know there's money available there to help pay for that as other. So that's one of the other things we're kind of working on.
And do all the children bring their own music equipment?
No, we provide everything. I mean, if they have their own stuff, that they're obviously more than welcome to use it. We have instruments, and if we need to get something, we have access to via what's it called, Guitar Center to obtain them.
You may have answered this. What is the age?
So
range
the
of age?
youngest kid, his name is Matis. He's 11. He can also play Freebird, which is pretty interesting.
Yes.
We actually did a show last summer at the Fenway on the front lawn, and he was one of the kind of stars of the show. But yeah, I mean, usually on the child side, it's 11 to 15. But we'll go younger. I mean, much younger. But it just depends. Usually at that point, it's piano that they're learning if they're really young, like 5, 6. But yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
West Care, Gulf Coast, Florida.
Good morning. My name is Rhonda Lieberman, Lieberman. I'm the senior accountant for West Care Gulf Coast, Florida. West Care has 52 years of experience. We have been in Pinellas County for 24 years. Our request is for a peer support and a peer support advocate and case manager, sorry.
for their salaries, a portion of their salaries to assist us at a turning point. David is going to explain what the program is and what the services that the peer support and case manager will provide.
Hi, my name is David Hassett, Hassett. I'm the program manager at Turning Point. I'm going to talk about the case managers first. The case managers help homeless individuals from street level try to get back into a stable place meant for habitation. We serve, last year we approximately served over 550 individuals from street homeless back into a stable place that either fit their needs or they needed to go in order to get to a stable place, like a rental or transitional. We also help establish ID cards, blue card, or get them screened for health insurance. We also help with any notary issues that they might need, linkage to legal services for ID reinstatement. We also help with referring them to placement. In regards to the peer specialists, the peer specialists are tasked with helping bridge the gap between clinical staff and shared experiences. The peer supports at Turning Point offer life skills introduction, relapse prevention, and just one-on-one individual conferences to allow that individual to feel that they have more of a voice and not feel like a number in a program. Turning Point has been a pivotal program for the past 20 years, and we have seen an uptick in intakes, approximately 10% this past year. But it hasn't stopped our case managers. Our case managers and peer specialists work hand in hand together. This peer specialist in particular will be attached to half during the week and half during the weekend to also allow clients that are in our facility on the weekend to have access to a specialist outside the general 9 to 5 that a case manager or peer support might work. Do you guys have any questions?
What's the length of stay for someone when they come?
On average, it's about 22 based off our numbers, but we offer 30 days or longer. We really work case by case. So typically clients that come in, we give them what their 14-day and 30-day looks like for their timeline. So they have like a benchmark of what their days might look like. But we always encourage the client that we really don't talk about placement until their 21st day. Because with everyone in the room, with price of inflation, rental and transitional living has gone up. So the biggest barrier that we try to have accommodated at Turning Point is allowing the individual that either just found a job or is in need of accumulating a few paychecks so they can get the down payment to a unit that they're trying to get into. We've extended them past the 30 days to try to accommodate with their needs.
So if you have someone come in who's going through detox withdrawals, where do you all typically refer them?
So typically if they present with withdrawals, if it's within a stable range, we won't refer them out. We have a monitoring area. We call it phase 1. It's the initial area all clients come into. Typical in the past, everyone said it's a mat. We recently received a donation of cots to help accommodate individuals with disabilities, to help them get off the floor. So they're placed on a cot in an observation area for the first 3 days. Individuals that present with in need of like Librium or medication to help with the withdrawals due to seizures, we refer immediately out to emergency services. We are partnered with Baycare, other shelters, Help Us Help You for Hep C and linkage with Hep C treatment. We really try to refer them out. We don't discharge them. We'll allow the medical provider to step in, assess if there is a danger to their health, and then once they're discharged, we'll take them back. We won't recreate the recidivism. We just want to make sure that they're gonna be stable enough to at least sleep and have a good night's sleep and food and stuff in their system.
Thank you.
Once they are placed back into a stable place, transition, wherever, do you know what your success rate is for re-entry?
Right now, we the numbers for last year right now from street homeless up is about 46%. The other percentage is walkout with referrals. The sad part of dealing with substance abuse is that moment of clarity diminishes. We have, from the first 14 days, the clients aren't allowed to leave. So that's where the bulk of our services get to plant the seed. So the bulk of our numbers are really between the first and 14th day. After the 14th day, they're allowed to go out on pass, but the not problem, but the thing that occurs is the individuals choose to come at a moment of clarity. So on the 14th day, triggers come out, items arise that they might leave on the 14th day, which is why our walkout is always going to be a little bit higher because the moment of clarity diminishes. But we do place the ones that stay about 46% or more of the time. And the ones that do walk out, because I always like to say the outcomes, it really depends on what outcome you're wanting. Goal-wise, we've served about 400 goals or more on clients. Despite them walking out, doesn't mean that they didn't meet some benchmarks that they wanted to in their time with us.
If someone's in need now, how do they enter your program?
I
Can
get
they just
asked that
walk
question
in
all
the
the
door?
time. So with COVID, obviously a lot of things were adjusted worldwide. Since taking over and the growing need of our program, we've started to accept walk-ups again from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. 7 days a week. We do it by appointment with like hospital referrals. Sometimes they're coming from hospitals, the doctors just need a minute to stabilize them, but they need a discharge plan. So we'll make them an appointment so we just know that they're coming. We typically serve between 6 to 8 intakes a day at some point. On average, compared to last year to this current year, we're doing about 3 intakes a day. Last month we served about 101 individuals. The numbers also spike because we are also a cold night shelter. So we also are outside of our general case management. With cold night shelter, we offer pre-case management services, screening. Even though they might not be staying with us, we still link them to community resources while they're with us.
It's a cold night shelter for anyone?
Yeah, anyone. It's when the Homeless Leadership Alliance, they inactivate if the wind chill is below 42 or lower. We'll open up our doors. This past year, I've been doing cold night shelter for a minute. We usually serve about 12. This past year, we served on average 18 to 20 guests a night due to the growing need of the homelessness population.
So what you're saying is you serve those with addiction?
Yes.
Alcohol and drug addiction, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
But we'll also the pivot to for cold night shelter. Then we'll serve the general population. We have an area for them, and we'll do case management services, and our peer support typically walks around to make sure if they need anything when we operate for those nights as well.
I see. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for your time.
Tampa Bay Community Development Corporation, DBA Suncoast Housing Connections. You will have 5 minutes to speak. You have it.
Good morning. My name is Fran Feeney, P as Peter, H-E-E-N-Y. I am the Executive Director of Suncoast Housing Connections. We, formerly known as Tampa Bay CDC. We are a 43-year-old housing counseling agency. Our tagline is we teach, we lend, we build. We have, in 2024, we have served over 670 clients. In our history, we have served over 66,000. So I could go through our catalog of services, but I think I would like to read to you a email we received last week from one of our clients that really shows what we do. I would like to say thank you again for working with me and the amazing information you provided to me yesterday. The action plan you advised me, I already paid down those small credit cards. I told my sister about our conversation and how knowledgeable you are. She is asking, do you provide services only to applicants working with the program, or can anyone sign up for your counseling services? Thank you again. This woman came in she went to our homebuyer education class. She signed up for our counseling services. She met with our counselor because she was very anxious to start the process to buying a home, and she is shocked. She is already mortgage ready and ready to start looking for that home and go through the process. That's what we do. And what we're starting to see more of is post-hurricanes. We're starting to see more and more people come to us post-purchase for services. They're not in the foreclosure process yet, and they're very concerned about ending up in the foreclosure process. And a lot of it has to do with their insurance, with the damage from the hurricanes, whatever. So we're developing a program to post-purchase to really educate people on insurance, educate people on hurricane hardening. What are the resources? How can they do it? And we're applying for funding and from a variety of sources, but we think it's really critical we have those in-depth conversations with people. We have formed a relationship with the former Assistant Commissioner for Insurance for the state of Florida, and she's helping us put together a curriculum and guiding the counselors in addition to the HUD curriculum and the NeighborWorks curriculum. So we're looking forward to trying to launch that sometime around the end of this calendar year. And we're looking forward to being able to use some of the funding from the city of Clearwater to be able to start doing that program. And we already do foreclosure prevention, we already do pre-purchase, but it's that gap in the post-purchase that we're seeing there is a new need for. Any questions?
One of the asks is for purchase assistance. What does that mean?
That is the down payment assistance program that we administer on behalf of the city of Clearwater, where where a client comes in, they have a contract, they've already been through the homebuyer education, they go through the one-on-one counseling, and then we take them through the application process for down payment assistance.
Okay.
We already had one case this year that started the application process and realized they weren't really eligible, so they had to pull that application, unfortunately. But we have another application in process right now.
Questions? That's great. Questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Hello. I heard you said Hurricane Hardening. Can you explain or express what would that entail?
What we're talking about is educating people on what they need to do to their homes to make them better prepared for the impact of a hurricane. So the windows, the proper roof tie downs, the proper actually landscaping in some cases, and to prevent the flooding. There's a variety of, we actually have a contractor that specializes in that type of work that is helping us develop that curriculum as well. So we're building it with industry experts who, if we ever have enough people to do actual classes on a regular basis, I think during hurricane season we might, but we'll work with the industry experts and they will do the presentations in our classes along with our counselor who will talk about the financial, preparing yourself financially, putting those reserves together. So if you have the damage, you can take care of the damage on an immediate basis, but also to work with the different programs, FEMA, hopefully, FEMA and the other programs that'll be out there. to assist homeowners.
And will your clientele be based on a certain income level?
Below 120 AMI,
How's this being like hands-on or just material? Like they're actually going to show them how to do this stuff so when they go to their homes, they're able to actually do it?
actually, we're working on that. The insurance people that we are bringing in are not located in this part of the state. I think it's going to be a hybrid where it'll be, in some cases, on location, in some cases via Zoom. It's going to have to be a hybrid because of the different curriculums and the different expertise we're going to be bringing in.
This is not a question, this is just a tip, I'm sorry, hold on, because people outside can't hear, I need you guys to go up to the podium, I'm so sorry. No, ask, we'll go back, but going forward, because no one else can, and I can barely hear.
I can repeat, I'll repeat them, okay?
Thank you.
Terry?
It was. Okay, got it, okay, got it. So this is a tidbit, and this is something that we would partner with you on to provide education for your for the classes. The disaster strategy. In the event that there's a disaster that's approved by the president and or the governor of the state, that there's always funding at the local level.
Correct.
For the clientele that we serve.
Correct. Okay, so for the record, Terry advised me that there's always funding at the local level that has been brought down after a disaster from the federal to the state to the local level to assist residents with disaster assistance. And I also want to add that we are going to be doing, based in reply to one of the questions, we'll be doing a training workshop for local lenders and realtors on the down payment assistance, the most current rules and regs in early May. And we'll be asking for you to be here, yes. Any other questions?
This sounds to me like a prevention program. You're going to
Yes,
present
it's a
future-
preemptive to avoid foreclosure.
to avoid, and bringing in the insurance agents that can identify what is needed to reduce cost and to prepare the home for a disaster such as a hurricane or a fire or anything else. So, and educating the homeowner as to what that criteria is. For example, if you put all new doors and windows in your house, but you don't put the one in the garage or the utility room or the front door,
Right.
the insurance company's going to say, oh, that's good, but all openings have to be,
Correct.
you know, as a homeowner, investing in doors and windows, and you don't replace the tiny one in the garage, it prevents you from getting that
Correct.
deduction or that. These are little things homeowners don't know. That homeowner should know those things before they buy the house.
We actually will go over that in our pre-purchase homeowner education class. But what I will say is a lot of people get so excited about buying, particularly when it's their first home. And that a lot of these issues frequently, they have the I'll take care of it later sort of attitude. And getting that refresher and actually we think most of the people that we will see based on experience from other organizations around the country that have done this sort of training post-purchase, we'll probably see homeowners that have been homeowners for at least 2 years. But we know that people, they hear it. I don't know that that's an issue that they retain, because even though the counselors go over insurance with them again, but having that refresher and having it more front to mind when they've seen their homeowners insurance go up, 50%, 30%, whatever, annually, it may have more of an impact. We expect it to have more of an impact.
Well, there's always an option in buying at home. You can buy purchase with rehabilitation and include with your rehabilitation programs.
Correct.
Those improvements to prevent any further action after or post-closing. So that may be something that we
Well,
could talk about.
one of the things that we're hoping to get funding for, not in this application, but a different one, is a full-time counselor to work on this specific program, because we have found that there's many clients who we have referred to different rehab programs that find the application process overwhelming. And so what we'll do is have that counselor work with them to guide them through that process. There are some communities where the application process can be quite overwhelming and intimidating for some homeowners.
Yes,
So
I agree.
to have that person work with you side by side to help you through the process, we think could really be important for a lot of our clients.
I agree.
I have a question. I actually think this is a really good program. Because you see this a lot where a brand new homeowner is excited and then down the road, they're whatever happens.
Overwhelmed.
Do you think that this is something that maybe if they're doing the first time home buyers in the beginning, something that you could try to mandate in the 2 to 3 year mark, they come back potentially? Maybe not mandate, but.
There's, the programs that have been the most successful, because we've done a little bit of research on this. Those programs that have been most successful have been those that have a real carrot. And trying to find a way to fund that type of carrot to get people is a little bit challenging, but we're working on it. We're trying to find that Home Depot or Lowe's, anybody have connections, to really work with us to try and bring people back, because post-purchase is in a lot of ways, particularly for those, when you're the first homeowner in your family, you don't have that dad, you don't have that experience to really guide you. It's that much more important.
Right.
So we would love to have that ability to try and entice people in.
It'd be nice even if you could try to link it to down payment assistance. You received it, but I know the money comes from, I understand it's not as easy.
I also know that some of these down payment assistance programs in the past have had the, you have to take post, whether it's, I think at one point, the Pinellas HFA had one that said you had to do just like a home maintenance class after you bought. But how do you
get them to
how do you get them to come?
Right.
Yeah. Hey, I have the house. I'm done.
Right.
Yeah. I got the money. I'm done.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Darlene, you had a question?
Yes, Fran, hi, sorry. One more. So you probably already answered this, but to go live for a private pilot program, so we're guessing that this hurricane season is not an option, or is that your goal?
That was my original goal, but the original funding source for this is no longer available. So I'm waiting to find out because it's going to be critical that I have a full-time counselor working on this. If I'm going, it needs to be launched countywide at a minimum. Keep your fingers crossed, there may be a different funding source coming to the plate by the end of this month. If not, then the search will continue.
I think this year would be great, because last year
I
we
would
got
love to.
hit so many times. It might not be hard to bring people in because last year. So I think this year is the key.
I would agree with you, but I need the check writer. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, we have the Hispanic Business Initiative Fund, DBA Prospera.
morning, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity to be here and share with you about our organization. I am representing Prospera. My name is Sylvia Osain, O-S-A-I-N. I am a senior small business consultant in Prospera. So Prospera is a nonprofit organization for economic development created by Hispanic entrepreneurs for Hispanic entrepreneurs. Prospera was established in 1991. It means 34 years serving our community. We are helping Hispanic entrepreneurs for free at any stage of business, since the beginning, from an idea to grow. Bilingual services are provided tailored to the unique needs of Hispanic business owners that can take them to grow their businesses and scale their businesses. And how do we do it? We have 4 main pillars for that. First one is business seminars, training for Hispanic entrepreneurs to help them understand how to do business in the U.S., what is very important, especially when they are immigrants recently coming to this country. Very important for them because it's totally different to do business in our countries than in the U.S. We include in these seminars seminars about legal structures, finances, taxes, regulations, licenses, marketing trends, technology solutions, and more. So actually we are always looking for different areas that we can help them for seminars. For example, we can also do specific seminars for entrepreneurs that are working with restaurants, investing in food trucks, and this kind of businesses. So wherever we find an opportunity to help them, we help them with specific trainings. We also do business consulting, one-on-one, personalized in language, in culture, so we understand what they need, their needs, their fears, their concerns, and we guide them to identify opportunities and solutions to do business effectively in this country and compete in the Main Street market. We also help them to access to capital. So we are not a bank, we cannot give money, but we help them and we guide them to understand the American, the US financial and banking systems. That is very important for them to know. What is a credit score? That for us, when we get in this country, is like, what? So it's very important for them to understand the financial system in the US. So we help them to obtain traditional financing and microloans. Okay. I had more, but I don't know, 3 minutes.
Questions?
So any questions? No?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Next, we have We Care Inc., DBA Upwards.
Hello. My name is Felipe Gamboa, Gamboa. Good morning, committee members, fellow applicants, and city staff. I'm a community impact specialist at Upwards. As a single dad of 2 beautiful girls, I know all too well the importance of early child care education to shape our future generation. Upwards is the nation's largest child care network. We represent over 150,000 micro-enterprise child care providers, including 18 of them here in Clearwater that we have already partnered with. Despite their importance to the community and local economy, our child care providers in Clearwater average only $13 an hour, qualifying them to low to moderate income, making it difficult for them to not only sustain but also grow their business. Meanwhile, there's a notable capacity gap in Clearwater with over 1,300 kids under the age of 6 unable to access licensed care. which leaves over 1,000 families, specifically mothers and single parents, struggling to fully participate in the workforce. Childcare is not just a social service issue, it's also a workforce and economic issue as well, because if they're not able to send their kids to childcare, they cannot enter into the workforce. The goal of our CDBG eligible boost program is to equip these low to moderate income micro enterprise providers with personalized coaching, digital tools to help optimize and streamline their operations and revenue. This allows them to efficiently manage and expand their business, also creating teaching assistants within the community. So not only providing support to the business themselves, but also creating a job within the community as well. With our current application, we are looking to support an additional 6 in-home care providers who are actually already expressed interest in joining the program. So we already have them established and ready to go. The program would also create 2 new teaching assistant jobs within the city. And I'm also happy to share a few success stories from the previous year. So Upwards has a teaching assistant subsidy. It's a teaching assistant subsidy as part of that job creation component. This is Upwards contributing towards the business at no additional cost to the business to bring on a teaching assistant. Also, there was, when Hurricane Milton came, there was a lot of the childcare providers within the area, some of them face a lot of physical damage to their property. So Upwards was able to step in and partner with them and help. One of the providers, we helped with damaged fence, security. There was also equipment that was damaged. So we were able to step in and help with the provider maintain and keep the facility going so they're able to support their families. I thank you so much for your time, consideration. Together, I know that we can continue to bring lasting change for the families in Clearwater. Happy to answer any questions.
So I have a question. So are you bridging the gap between the teachers themselves or the home teaching? Explain to me a little bit more about how this is working.
So not only do we want to partner with the actual business itself,
Okay.
but one of the ways that we're able to create a new job within the community, it also helps us to increase capacity. So one of the ways that we can chop away at the capacity gap, those lack of families not able to access care, is to bring on a teaching assistant, and we partner them with the business so that they're able to increase capacity. So by state law regulation, it's a child to income ratio. They can only watch a certain number of kids.
Right.
And when we bring on the additional support, they can grow their business. They're no longer a small provider, but they transition to a large facility because they have additional help and they can support more kids.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course. Anything else? No questions? Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Gulf Coast Legal Services.
Good morning. Teresa Pritchard, P-R-I-C-H-A-R-D, CEO at Gulf Coast Legal Services. At Gulf Coast for over 45 years, we've worked to make the legal system more accessible to all members of our community, particularly those who are vulnerable as a result of victimization or low income or low or limited income. We provide exceptional legal advocacy, vigorous representation, and effective legal education for the communities we serve. And our main office is based here in Pinellas County. We also serve Manatee, Sarasota, and some points south as well. We are a law firm. We through various funding sources, we fund attorneys and paralegals and legal staff to provide client-centered legal representation to the communities. And we are seeking $50,000 to serve low-income residents in Clearwater with their housing legal needs for fiscal year 25-26, and with a goal of serving a minimum of 42 individual clients with that funding. So in fiscal year 24-25, we supported 152 clients and families in Clearwater alone with various civil legal matters. Primarily housing and family law issues are the biggest ones that we see need for. Particularly, we heard some other discussion today. We provided swift response following the hurricanes, Helene and Milton, particularly at the standard where we were able to, we opened 27 new cases, so actual clients that we were able to represent, which was represented about 40 families for a total of 65 to 70 residents, including family members who were served. So the average income of our clients is about $15,000, which is below the poverty threshold, and the annual income necessary to support even rent here in Clearwater, which is running about $1,600 a month. So our staff focuses on providing representation to clients to maintain their housing. So eviction defense, foreclosure defense, and fair housing assistance are our main, when we're talking about housing services, those are some of our main services. We've also been providing rights and responsibilities trainings throughout our communities to help keep people hopefully out of court, and prevent the extra costs that go with that, as well as preventing evictions or other issues from, to keep them having a clean court record so they can maintain housing, go to work, right? They stabilize their housing, they can participate in providing for their families as well. So our team member, we work closely with the Hispanic Outreach Center. We also get referrals through CASA. We worked with Maddie Williams and the Juvenile Welfare Board, particularly when responding to this standard, and focus our outreaches in low to moderate income neighborhoods throughout the community. Any questions?
In working in the affordable housing arena, I have found that the biggest issue is probate. When a homeowner passes away without a will, and it affects those heirs that are living in the home. And do you assist in with that particular issue?
We do.
Of probate?
We have our financial stability team with other funding. They work to sustain generational wealth and the housing, because a lot of families, they've lived here for a long time. And absolutely we see that issue come up as well. That's our financial stability team works with those folks.
And is it related to income? Is there income requirements?
It is. As a general rule, our services are, folks have to meet, depending on our grant, our various funding sources, I would say around 200% or below of the federal poverty level. We do have the exceptions for older adults and folks who are victims of crime, where that we don't have income restrictions, but those are some of our other funding sources that don't require that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Suncoast, Inc.
Hello. My name is Kimberly McCabe, that's MCCABE, and I'm here on behalf of Boys and Girls Club of the Suncoast. Our mission for the last 66 years has been to enable all young people, especially those who need us the most, to reach their full potential as productive and responsible caring citizens. The project I'm presenting for your consideration is our Prosperity Pathways Workforce Readiness Program. Across the county, we serve thousands of students with this program within our club sites, but the project I'm presenting today is a little bit unique to that because it's the first for our Workforce Readiness Program where we're embedded directly within the school at Pinellas High Innovation School located in the North Greenwood neighborhood. We work with students anywhere from 6th through 12th grade who have enrolled in this alternative school program. And they participate in workforce readiness activities such as modules on financial literacy, hands-on career exploration, such as culinary program, electrical and construction, and digital tools. And from there, they also can participate in virtual reality simulations for things that they might not be able to bring directly into the program. But my most favorite part of this program is the juniors and the seniors do get to participate in internships and apprenticeships with partners throughout our community like Bake Hair, Habitat for Humanity, Bank of America, directly within our organization, and many other partners. They can participate in these internships and are paid, so they get used to how to manage that money through financial literacy training as well. And then upon completion, many of our students are also offered employment through those partner agencies. Through an additional partnership we have with Florida Prepaid, if a student is interested in post-secondary education, they are offered access to scholarships as well. So within just the last 2 years that we've been in Pinellas High Innovation School, we've become a really integral part of their programming. Through our work with them, they've also expanded their own culinary program, which we now facilitate with the younger students as a feeder into their program within the high school age. And it was our direct partnership with them that allowed this piece to grow. The funding request that we have before you will help us to expand to more students within the school. It will fund in part a Prosperity Pathways specialist who is a counselor that works directly with students, as well as helping to fund those virtual reality trainings, bring in those career exploration. Thought I had it timed a little better. Any questions?
So how long is the program?
So in this school, they go from 6th to 12th grade, but as we have students that are graduating, we are expanding through support through age 24 as well.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Are there any final questions or comments from the board? That was our last presentation. Okay.
I'm just inspired. A lot of good work out there.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, for old business, I'll ask the board members at this time if there are other topics previously discussed that the board would like the staff to present an update on at a future meeting.
I want to address some of the presentations. I know it's a little off.
Well, no, that was
schedule. Yeah,
That's what I asked before, but you missed it. Go ahead.
I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, that I think it's federal funds, CDBG can be used for public facilities such as parks or rec centers and so forth and so on without application through the consolidated plan process. Does the city of Clearwater have any applications from city departments for improvements in their facilities, their parks? And the reason I ask that is because the ballparks, the baseball parks, the Little League parks were damaged during the storm. Some of the fences came down. The scoreboards are not working. And I know the properties have to be in a low mod area. And I know that some are, some may not be. The one on Saturn, I think, might be considered a low mod, but have to be checked out. But has the City Parks and Recreation Department applied for funding?
They did attend the application workshop, but we did not receive an application from them.
Have you reached out to them to offer, maybe they don't realize what they could gain from it, possibly?
We
Oh,
did
you
reach
did?
out. There was a public comment during the public meetings about one of the parks needing a new playground, so we did reach out to the Parks Department to let them know that they were able to submit an application. But like I said, we did not receive one from them.
That's a shame. Okay, the second thing. I noticed that all the presenters today, none that I can recall actually addressed transportation for those with disabilities, those in a wheelchair. Now, I know PSTA has a program you can qualify for under certain conditions, and you can be transported to doctors and anywhere in Pinellas County, and with some reservation, you can be transported outside of Pinellas County to Hillsborough County and so forth. But are there any organizations outside of PSTA that offers transportation for those that are in a wheelchair and cannot drive?
None that applied for our funding. I know Neighborly, I see Neighborly drop off elderly to our North Greenwood Rec Center. I think they have a daily meeting. I think they have food that's provided as well, but they did not apply for our funding.
They did not?
No.
Okay. There was one other thing too, just give me one second. Oh, also, home maintenance. At one time, there used to be an organization, I can't recall, I'm sorry, the name, that would provide those cited for codes for trash and debris, or, you know, windows that are broken, or whatever, that those folks may not actually apply for rehab to cure those deficiencies, or they have applied for rehab and there's stuff within the household that needs to be removed because the contractors can't get in to do the work. So I don't know, home chores, I think it was called Chore Services. Is that correct, Terry?
Yes, Opportunity Council, they were the organization that did what you're talking about.
Yes.
You said Chore Services.
Chore Services. So those folks that are turned down for rehab because they can't clear the debris within their household, or clear the debris of junk and so forth in the yard, can't get a rehab, so.
Linda, I don't know if that division is still a part of Pinellas Opportunity Council. We could reach out to them to see if that particular department is still there.
Okay.
I think, I don't know if it's the same department, but I know there was a department we used to fund for public services, but they helped the elderly. And for whatever reason, they stopped applying. They applied this year, but for a different program.
Another important thing to note is we do, when we release the NOFA, we do send it to a distribution list with past applicants. And generally, annually, what we'll do is connect with the city clerk's office and pull a list of properties with code violations, and any that look like, one, if they're homesteaded in a single-family home, if they look like they could qualify for our rehabilitation program, and the lien amount isn't extravagant, then we'll generally send them some mail letting them know about our rehab program.
Okay, yeah, that's good. There should be, or there may be a referral program where the code compliance officer is on site and can say, with a flyer or something, you can apply for assistance through the city. Doesn't mean that they will, but they may, or they may not be qualified for it.
Okay. Mr. Mayu, do you have anything additional to report?
I have nothing further.
Okay. Do any board members have any final words before we adjourn? This concludes our business for today. Our next NAHAB meeting is scheduled for May 13th, 2025. Thank you to everybody, and the meeting is adjourned.